So if you were just tuning in, welcome everybody. I did a monologue about the Super Bowl to close out last hour and about how Tom Brady tossed an interception right out of the gate and how in the long term it really didn't matter at all. How the RV industry is in need of somebody like the New England Patriots today. Whether you were rooting for the Rams or the Patriots, I hope that you will check out that monologue. Let me know your thoughts. You can catch it on our YouTube channel or on our podcasts on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. Any one of them. Just listen in. Let me know what you think. All right, Alan Warren here, your RV Wingman with hour number 2, and a look at the not-so-pretty side of RVs and RVing. And while it ain't pretty, as they say, it is the truth. And that's what the RV Show USA is all about. It's about the truth. And we bring you really smart people with a perspective that we think you should know about. Now, a few weeks back, we talked about how the RV industry did a good thing. They stepped in to help the victims of Hurricane Florence that walloped the Carolinas. Remember that back in October? And how RV inspectors raced to the rescue, which is all great, right? Well, apparently not as great as you may think. To tell us what happened and why you should care is a first-time guest to the RV Show USA, certified RV inspector, Erik Fisher. Greetings, Erik. How you doing?
Very good, sir. Very good, sir.
Thank you for being with us. I think your message is really for all RVers. I know that you were there looking at helping people that were involved in that flood and the hurricane, but it's for all RVers that are looking at buying a brand new RV. But to start out, tell everybody how you and I connected and why you reached out to us.
Well, I've been listening to you for a while, obviously. But, it just was a thing that when I got to thinking about our typical RV user, or owner, it gets the information of electrical, problems and everything, and they really don't know what those ramifications are. And being down in the whole thing with FEMA was kind of like a laboratory, a high caffeine class, and we were turning out 15 units a day.
Now these are hang on, Erik.
At the highlight.
These are 15 brand new RVs that RV manufacturers have, I guess, donated or sold or something. Got them to FEMA.
Sold them.
And so these are brand spanking new RVs, never lived in, never titled.
We started out with some stored ones, some used ones, but then about halfway in there, all we were seeing was brand new purchases.
Okay, so before you started inspecting these RVs on behalf of FEMA to make sure they're safe and the people can live in them while they're trying to get their lives together, what were your thoughts back then when you learned that the manufacturers were helping out, before you started doing the inspections, actually?
We were just getting these things hauled in, and the manufacturers, it was literally units bought off of a dealer's lot. I don't know whether there was any assistance by the dealers myself.
But these trailers, the RVs that you guys inspected, I saw the pictures, and they're not these cheapy FEMA trailers. They look like they're pretty nice trailers.
No, they had specifications. I think it was 27 or 29 feet or 30 or something. Had to sleep so many people, couldn't just sleep two. They had bunk houses as a main floor plan. And we went from some. I'll call it better than just a average trailer. They had some folks would call them a class unit down to your weekender. Better quality weekender.
Okay, so let's say middle of the road, not the super expensive ones, but these are just
not super expensive.
What the average RV buyer probably would want to buy. So, what did you start noticing? I want to cover kind of a lot of ground in a short amount of time. What did you start noticing in these brand new RVs as you are doing these inspections, Erik?
Well, I basically was on the repair side, and the inspectors were going through them first and hand me a repair list. And pretty much what we were getting was a lot of propane regulator that were locked up or weren't functioning to the proper pressures. We were getting one thing was kitchen vent fans running backwards, so it was pushing air to the stove area instead of sucking it away.
That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah. We had drop-in sinks with the upper flange, and the corners were stressed and broken. We had a slide-out kitchen where I personally had to replace a nearly 8-foot LP line with 2 leaks in it. So, this was a absolutely brand new unit,
So this couldn't have been widespread, or was it? I mean, percentage-wise.
Well, we had 5 units of each of the kitchen vents and the sinks. We had 5 units sitting on the floor in a line, and every one of them had the same problem. And I have seen a Facebook posting of another individual who saw the sink in the Tampa show on the same type of unit.
This show, this hour of the RV Show USA, we talk about these things that they're head scratcher issues. Many of them, it's like, you got to be kidding me. Manufacturers are producing these units. They're not all like this, but there should be none of them, or next to none of them. But you're telling me that a majority, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but lots and lots of them that were coming down to help the people of the Carolinas were not livable? They were not safe to live in? Or
there were enough issues that we corrected in order to, that was the reason for our existence, was to take vehicles that came in, do an inspection, right the wrongs so that they were in place in a safe condition. And so in other words, we did our job. All right. But there are things in the RV market, not per se directly the ones that we inspected for this past, but there are things in the RV market that are just plain items that aren't installed per manufacturer's recommendations, like refrigerators. You had the Ford's RV gentleman on the other week with the refrigerator vent over vent that wasn't vented properly. Heck, I had a fifth wheel with a caddy corner refrigerator with tunnels where the vents were. So you had a good 1.5 to 2 foot tunnel to the top and the bottom of the refrigerator, and absolutely no power venting. That isn't totally against manufacturer specification.
And so many of the things you're talking about, Eric, it sounds like to me, are things that the average RV buyer doesn't know.
Is not going to see. That's my concern was, people ask about whether we should do an inspection on a new unit when you're buying. It's a great idea to do one to a used, but they question the new one. Well, my belief is that the dealer isn't going to look for the manufacturer's install issues. They're looking to see, does the refrigerator turn on or not? And inspectors are trained to look for things additional to, does it turn on?
Wow. Hey, hang on, Eric. Erik Fisher is with us, folks. He is an extremely knowledgeable RV inspector, a first-time guest here on the show who is sharing some insight from the many, many inspections he made over the past couple of months on brand new RVs. So, Eric, we got to hit a hard break. On the other side, I want to get your thoughts on what all this means to us, the RV enthusiasts, especially those who are looking at buying a brand new unit. What do you think? All right, good deal.
I'm here for you.
All right, stick with us, folks. How these problems can affect you, and you may not even realize it. Right here On the RV Show USA, the country's #1 radio show about the RV lifestyle, we want to invite you to join us. Sign up on our email list at thervshowusa.com. Eric and I'll be right back. And we are back with a man who has learned, an awful lot about new RVs in the past few months, about some really bad things that he's seen in brand spanking new ones that were sold to FEMA for victims of Hurricane Florence from last October's storm in the Carolinas. If you have an RV, even a brand new one, you need to hear what Erik Fisher with RV On-Site Services has to say, because literally it just could save your life. Now, Erik, for those who are just tuning in, give them the kind of the condensed story of your recent job there in the Carolinas, if you would. Let's talk about why it's important for all RVers to hear and pay attention to.
Well, basically from October to first week in December, we were involved in what we called the staging area, bringing in RVs, inspecting, and then repairing any issues that we found, producing about 15 units a day at the the highlight of our output. That was our contracted output. And we found numerous issues through the whole product line, the whole production line, that were what we would consider life safety.
Let's talk about one. Give me the first one. Give me a life safety issue that me as an RV buyer of a brand new RV may not even know about until it's too late. Give me one. Let's go.
The LP regulator that typically have the two DOT bottles on the front. And there's a regulation that those regulators produce 11 inches of water column to the unit. And we also have the lockout. Anything wrong with that, and you're producing too much LP going out to the RV.
And the translation means?
Boom.
Wow.
It's meaning like you can overfire the furnace, that you can have gas flow when if you cut a gas line for a reason, the lockout is going to stop it due to excessive flow. But it may possibly be that these trailers were sitting on the lot for a while and had problems. They just did not pass test.
What would you say to people that think that you're here on the show just trying to drum up business as an RV inspector? I mean, I know you're you're super busy anyway, but I mean, this is some serious stuff.
Yeah, well, this is the reason why the NRVIA kind of built itself. We are here to try and do to the client to protect them. We even have an ethics agreement that says that we can't take repair work for 1 year after we've inspected a unit. So that there's a lot of principle built in this.
How long have you been an RV inspector, Erik?
Since 2014, so it's been 5 years. That's pretty much since just after they began as a certifying body.
Any idea of let me ask you this. Before you went to the Carolinas and started, I know you live over in that area, but before you started looking at these FEMA trailers for FEMA, what percentage of your business were new versus used inspections? I mean, about?
Yeah, at least a quarter.
Okay, so 25%.
I mean, the large part of inspections was, Class A's, units resold. In this area, there isn't, unless you get up into Richmond, Virginia, there isn't a lot of Class A sales dealerships that you go up there and they're selling the big buses, but down here it's trailers.
Yeah, I want to jump in and interrupt again. I'm really pretty good at doing that, but
I'm
I'm not trying, and I don't think you are, Eric, trying to paint the picture that every RV is a piece of junk and a fire hazard at all.
No. The point is just basically, I don't think the individual that buys an RV has the background to the average one to find these issues. And so it's just a thing of, say, in the case of a refrigerator that is improperly installed, refrigerator might have a cost of $800 plus labor to install a new one. If you go and pick up a trailer and you go off to your sporting events and everything with the unit, and it doesn't perform properly, it winds up crystallizing up, first thing somebody's going to tell you is to replace the whole unit. Now, is it just the cost of the refrigerator and labor to replace it? No, it's your weekend that's shot. It's your week that's shot. So,
and it doesn't take just a half a day to stick a fridge in. You got to take your RV to the dealer. It may be several weeks or a month.
Some of the extended service plans will use the thing. Well, you got to remove the window.
What about in the last couple of minutes? Let me kind of cover several things. First off, what about the PDIs that the dealers are supposed to do? Aren't they supposed to look for these kinds of things?
You will find if you go to certain dealerships, you will find a notice about their PDI inspection. Look at the exceptions that they don't do. And, as I say, I don't believe that in a PDI they are going into the vent. If they did, these number of refrigerators, I don't think, would be out on the streets. But if they go to the vent and make sure that things are installed properly to vent the condenser coil up top, I don't think they're doing it.
I mean, a PDI,
one of the things we're looking for.
A real PDI is going to take that four-letter word time, and the dealers want to put, you can't blame them. They hope that the thing is put together properly. They want to get it out the door as quickly as possible and on to the next deal. The problem is, as we know, that adds up to what? It adds up to future problems, unhappy consumers, and it's the crazy cycle, so to speak. So,
and if we had a better go through by the dealer before the thing goes out the door, you'd increase customer satisfaction, and you'd have return customers. But if you get one lousy RV, guess what? That customer's probably going to go to another dealer.
Absolutely. All right, we're about out of time. I know you are out of North Carolina. How far will you go to do an RV inspection?
The inspections, I've done them in a 4-state region. When the Class A and such, people will find it reasonable to pay for the mileage. It's only half a buck a mile to go beyond my 50-mile radius. But trailers, there's a little more cost consciousness, and so I've been to Charlotte. I've been down to South Carolina.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, your letter writing skills are really good, because that's the reason I contacted you after several weeks ago when you wrote to me. I thought, man, this guy's smart. So, look, we got to wrap it up.
Shucks, Mr. Warren, you're making me blush. My sister would agree with you. An English teacher from high school just spat her wine out.
All right. You take care. We got to go. We'll talk again. Thank you so much.
You too.
All right, folks, check him out. Erik Fisher. Go to RVOnSiteServices.com. Put it all together. RVOnSiteServices.com. Very, very good information for sure. Lots more to come with Billy Thibodeau right after this.